Okay, so welcome to this next video, hierarchy of operations. Okay, we're still with our learning goal of students being able to solve problems involving comparison, addition and subtraction of integers. And at the end of this sort of section, you will want to be able to correctly apply the hierarchy of operations to evaluate an expression. Okay, what is Mr. Brady talking about? What is a hierarchy? Well, a hierarchy is sort of an order of importance. Okay, so maybe the king and queen. Might be top dogs, and then underneath the king and the queen you've got maybe some lords, and then underneath the lords you might have the merchants. And then under the merchants, you might have the peasants. Okay, so this is a sort of feudal hierarchy, okay, from back in the Middle Ages, and not all that long ago actually. But we've got kings and queens at the top, they're the most important. Then we've got the lords, the next most important. Merchants are the most important after that, and then peasants are sort of the least important. Okay, so that's what we mean by hierarchy. This here is a hierarchy. Okay, right. We're going to be looking at a hierarchy of operations. You might have heard different things like order of operations, BOMDAS, PEDMAS, all kinds of stuff. But rather than think about having to remember that all the time, maybe think about the operations as some are more important than others. Okay, so let's have a look at what we're going to look at our hierarchy. So operations in an expression. An expression is just a set of numbers and symbols. Okay, so this is just numbers and symbols. Okay, follow what we're going to call the hierarchy of operations. Brackets are the most important. So brackets can sort of turn up looking like this or like this. Sometimes you might see squiggly brackets like that, but not often in these kind of expressions. Okay, so lots of different types of brackets. Exponents, powers are the next important thing. So remember, if we have a number that is 6 raised to the power of 59, working out this is more important. This 6 to the power of 59 is next important after our brackets. Okay, next important after that is we evaluate our multiplication and division, and this is important at the same time from left to right. Okay, so you just go from left to right in your expression, evaluating all your multiplication and division. Next, you finally evaluate your addition and subtraction, again, at the same time, from left to right. Okay? So, additional, what this is going to end up looking like, our little hierarchy of operations, is that we have our brackets at the top. Then, we have our powers, x to the power of y. We have our multiplication and division, they're equal. And then we have our addition and subtraction that are also equal. Okay, very important. Alright, our brackets can be nested, so you need to be a little bit careful. If you have 6 open brackets, 5 plus 4 take 2, that means you have to do these inside brackets first here before you did these outside brackets. Okay, so brackets can be nested inside each other. That's what that means. Alright, let's have a look at some examples for us to go through. That'll help us sort of see how this works. Alright, so I come across this expression here, and I say to myself, right, are there any brackets? Any brackets here? There's not. So I can move on from that. Are there any powers? No, no powers. Fine. Is there any multiplication? Well, let's see. We move across. Ah, look, there's multiplication right here. Okay, so I'm going to carry that out first. So you might find it easier actually to work down the page for these sort of expressions. So 3 plus 4 times 6. Okay, so we'll work down the page. We're going to work this part out first, 4 times 6. So I write 3 plus 4 times 6 is 24. 3 plus 24 is 27. Now I'm very happy for you to write it like this. Okay, I'd much prefer you sort of take the time to go through it rather than just blast at it super fast without sort of taking the time to think about it. Okay, it's going to end up worse for you in the end. Okay, let's have a look at this one here. So again, let's rewrite this so we can work down the page. 22 minus 12 divided by 7 minus 1 plus 4. Okay, so, nearly forgot my brackets there. That would have caused a bit of drama. Okay, so again, we go through and we look, are there any brackets? There are. So we have some brackets here. Let's work those out first. So I just rewrite the whole thing, 22 minus 12 divided by, well, 7 minus 1 is 6 plus 4. So that's why it's good to work down the page. It's easier for you to make sure you're including everything in the next line of your calculations. Okay? Right. Are there any powers in here? Well, there's not. Let's have a look now and see if, let's make myself a little bit of room there. Okay, now we'll have a look and say, is there any multiplication or division? We go through, have a look. Yes, there's some division here. So let's work that out. 22, that's just going to get written there, minus 12 divided by 6 is 2 plus 4. Okay, so our other operations stay there. Okay, now the next one is we work out our addition and subtraction from left to right. That means that we're going to carry out this one before we do that one. Very important. So 22 minus 2 is 20 plus 4 is 24. Okay, so that's why it's important to go through that hierarchy of operations. And the important things with multiplication and division is to do, they're both of equal importance, they just go from left to right. Okay? Alright, now let's look at this last type of problem you're going to be expected to be able to carry out. So we've got 13 minus 9 divided by 4 is equal to 1. Okay, and you've got to put some brackets in here somehow to make it correct. Okay, now there's a couple of ways to go about this. Okay, you could use trial and error. Well, if I put the brackets here, that's not going to change at all. It just tells you to do all that. Okay. Well, the other thing, one thing you could try is this here, 9 divided by 4. Well, it's kind of weird. A lot of the things you're looking at this stage in your maths career aren't that weird. 9 divided by 4, bizarre division, especially for a problem like this. So maybe discount it. That's probably not going to be correct. And then you could say, well, let's try the 13 minus 9. Now that ended up being right. But I want to think about another way to go about getting there too. Now we need to get 1 as our answer. Okay, and we know the last thing, what's going to happen at some stage, is being divided by 4. So what divided by 4 gets us 1? Well, the only thing that gets us 1 from dividing by 4 is 4 divided by 4. So that means that somehow we've got to get 4 out of this other stuff in there. Well, it turns out that 13 minus 9 is 4. So that's going to help us out. And now, I'm correct in putting my brackets here. 13 minus 9 is what needs to happen first. Now, always with these, carry the expression out, calculate it to see if you are correct. So 13 minus 9 is 4, divided by 4 equals 1. 4 divided by 4 equals 1. Yay! Super fun. Totally correct. Okay? So if this sort of thing's a bit of a trouble for you, make sure you do some of the musts. Otherwise, power through into the shoulds and coulds. Okay? See you back at school for the exercises.